Hello and welcome to your Grow Groups this week. My name is Jessica. I'm the director of Grow Groups, and it is so good to be gathered with you as we are finishing our series, Starting Over. That feels like a funny sentence, doesn't it? We've been looking at the book of Ruth and her life and her story and how we can learn from that in our lives today. Today we're talking about an unlikely future, and I'm joined by Rachel.
Hello.
How are you doing today?
I'm so good.
Good.
Yeah, I love hanging out with you in these.
Yes, I love our groups are such a good part of our lives.
Yes.
Yes, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So I've got a fun first question.
I'm ready.
If you could know one thing about your future, what would it be?
Nothing. I don't want to know anything because I don't want to be taken out of the moment. I don't want to be counting down to something. I don't want to be, waiting for something to happen. I want to be in the moment and have things happen like they're supposed to happen. I don't need any part of that.
I like it. I was really curious as someone with children, where you might have come from on that one.
Of course there lots of things I would love to know. I would love to know who they're going to be when they grow up, who they're going to fall in love with, if they're going to get married, if I'm going to have grandkids, all of those things. But I think knowing that, one, takes away part of the journey, and two, it would just be a countdown for me then. It would be, okay, another year until such and such happens, and it just would take all the fun out of it, I think. And so as the planner in me, are there a lot of things I would like to know? Yes. But as the overarching mom, wife, whatever, I think I'm good to just let it all play out and see what happens.
I love that. I was trying to think, is it do I get married? And if so, to who? And what, the questions that you can ask. But really at that point, it just would feel like a Hallmark movie.
1000%. You see the two lines coming together and you're like, here we go.
I know you're going to fall in love.
Yes.
Just stop fighting and do it already.
Right. We get it. Yeah. You're from a small town, we know. So, yes, I would like to, but then at the other hand, I'm like, no, I just need to leave that alone and just go with the flow.
I like it. I like it a lot. I'm curious if you want to send us an email, I'd love to know what everyone else thinks on that one too.
Yeah.
It's a good one. But don't tell me you're the future.
Right. Don't tell us if you know. We don't want to know.
Good deal. So as we're talking about Ruth and her future ahead, one of our questions then is, what decisions or life choices for yourself or others are you making now that will likely impact your future?
This is an intense one. It really, as a mom of younger children, it really made me think of, okay, what am I doing now? What foundations am I building now? And so I think one of the biggest ones, and this is close to my heart right now, we just had Logan baptized a few weeks ago, is I'm giving them a solid faith foundation, and I am giving them a solid church home to love on them and come alongside them and be kind to them when I've lost my temper, and when, on a Sunday morning when they're being crazy, somebody else can be kind to them and show Jesus to them. When I have the eyes that are like, stop. But I think that's one of the really big parts of my life now as an adult, that I see the foundation built in the past. And so I want to build that foundation now for their lives going forward.
I love that. Mm-hmm. I also really love your kids.
Thank goodness.
I will take them.
It takes a village.
They're fantastic because I don't have to raise them.
Right? Because you get to see them all cute on Sunday mornings, and then they leave with me. And then we have to get in the van and
I take a nap.
Yes. Yes. And no one in my house takes naps. So
dang it.
I know.
Yeah. I was thinking of because I have a lot fewer people to account for. So, for me, I was like, well, it's, retirement accounts. Mm-hmm. It's making sure to take care of myself in that way, because also I don't have a lot of safety nets.
Right.
So what happens if I get sick, or I need care, or those kinds of things? How am I taking care of future Jessica? But I have seen that in things like again, for me, if, I'm trying to eat better and exercise better, like truly just take care of my body. Because I'm hearing it say, like I pulled a muscle stretching in bed the other morning. My body is like, hey, we need water. Like drink water to take care of the future self. But it's also things like with my brand new niece, it's just, we're still at that point where you can count weeks and months.
Right.
I'm like, I just want to be with you to start that relationship now.
Yes.
I want you to know who I am and for us to be close. And same with my nieces who are in Joplin, like that's further away, but not too far. So how am I showing up for you? Mm-hmm. And are there ways that I don't have to start college funds for my children? So I'm like, can I do that for them? Can I support them in those ways? So it's kind of cool that I get to play in what that might look like for them too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, children.
Children.
Well, then I'm curious. So as you think about your future, what do you feel? Do you feel like moved to action, paralyzed by decisions, hopeful, anxious?
All of those things. I could feel all of those things depending on the topic that we're talking about or how serious we're talking about things. I think a lot of the things that you said about like taking care of myself physically, and making sure that I'm around for my kids and my grandkids, that can kind of give me a little bit of anxiety because I'm possibly not making the best decisions right now. So I need to make some better decisions. But I'm also really hopeful and really excited for the future. Seeing my kids become people, out of that like baby and toddler phase and into the like little people phase, is so cool and it's so fun. And so it gives me that hope that they're really cool. Their friends are really cool and the future is going to be really cool. And so I have a lot of hope and excitement for that. So it's a mix of all the things. And of course, then there's the anxiety and the stress of what kind of world are we leaving for our kids and what are they going to have to encounter? And so really, yes, all of the things. It's not an or, it's a yes and yes.
Yeah, I think that's true. And I think there's beauty in that because I couldn't pick just one either.
Yeah.
But I think it gives us that anticipation and like you said, that openness at the beginning to just receive this future, to lean into it, to be present now.
And that's a lesson that I have learned over and over again, but that I don't have control over a lot of things. And so I need to do the best that I can with what I have right now. And I have to just be okay and take the next step. What does Anna say in Frozen 2? The next right thing. And just do that next right thing and just be okay with trying to point myself in the right direction, but also knowing that I'm not the one that's ultimately in control. So
I love that. Pull all the life philosophies from
Frozen and Frozen 2, I'm telling you.
Honestly, but yeah, just the next right thing. We just got to do what we can.
Yes, that is hard for me and my planner self and my list making self, but just the next right thing and having faith that that's all I can do. And I have to be able to be okay with that. So
amen to that.
Yep.
All right, well, that kind of ties into our last question. How do you trust God to write your future for and with you?
That is a really tough one. That is a really hard one. And like I said, I learned this lesson over and over. And the minute I think I've really got a handle on it, no, I don't. And so being really intentional about what I can control and then being really intentional about my big thing is like prayer time and really sitting with God and being like, this is what I need or I think I want or something like that. And then handing that over and saying, okay, show me what you're doing with that. And so mine is prayer time and just being in the moment and having that conversation with God.
I love that. The truly like, this is what I have to lay down,
yes,
but I'm also laying it down.
Yes.
Yeah. I think for me, it's looking back on the past, truly, and seeing the times that within like the last few years, there were things that I would be so stressed about for my future that now are fine.
Yes, yep.
It's completely fine. It's not even a thing to worry about. Or the things that I didn't worry about that have happened differently than I wish they would have happened, and how we adjust in those and still survive those moments. And so I think when I get most anxious about my future, I can pause and go, look, it's going to happen.
Right.
The future is coming. We just trust God that he'll work his goodness in it.
Well, and you've survived all the bad stuff already. You know, the bad stuff that you've been through, you've survived it. And so anything that is thrown at you, you can survive it. You got it.
Yeah, we can fight through that. And God, if God could get me through all of that,
Right.
we're fine.
Right, we're good.
We can do it. Well, I like it. I feel confident. Like more confident, more comforted
Yes.
about the future.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope so.
I just feel like there's no reason to worry about it. I mean, for me, I could worry all day, but I might as well hand it over and enjoy the moment and not just zero in and get myself too stressed out about it.
Yeah, lean in, do what we can, which is following exactly Ruth's example, and just trust God.
There you go.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this conversation today, Rachel.
Of course.
And thank you all so much for joining us in this series as we've looked at the book and the life of Ruth and how her stories can inspire, encourage, and teach us as we are writing our own stories and our adventures of starting over and starting fresh. We look forward to our next series with you. We are praying for you. Take care.